By the 1890s, Chinatown's tongs, or secret societies, repurposed some tunnels for gambling dens and brothels. They added steel doors, hidden staircases, and even escape routes that would lead out to alleyways. Police records show raids where officers battered down walls with sledgehammers, but not one of those reports mentions anything about kidnapped sailors. So,
the Late Night Legends podcast is meant for a mature audience. Topics covered may be violent or sexual in nature and are not suitable for sensitive listeners. Please be aware of your surroundings. For specific trigger warnings, please see the episode's show notes. Testimony shared by guests of this show are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Late Night Legends hosts or staff. This podcast and any linked materials should not be considered medical or professional advice, nor is the information a substitute for the expertise or treatment from a professional. Listener discretion is advised. Watch out.
Late Night Legends Internet Podcast Radio Show. My name is Francis Barrientos, United States of America. I'm so happy that you're here. So happy to have you in this October season. Yes. Here with my co-hosts Maria, Tim, Charlie, and Kay. And today we got Charlie as our underground explorer, tour guide, professional chef. Little known fact. If you pay Charlie $400 and you happen to be geographically close, he will cook you dinner.
for sure.
So make sure you jump on that.
Kraft macaroni and cheese for $400.
Oh, but dude, hey, I love myself some good Blue Box. Let me tell you.
You got the blues.
I generally like any kind, but sometimes the Blue Box is pretty good.
On this podcast, we are all about advice. We actually got a comment on our last show about how great of advice we give. So my little tidbit is if you make mac and cheese, switch out the 2% milk for heavy cream.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Did you ever get a little slutty and throw some bacon in there too?
Oh, yeah.
Just saying.
Hot
Just
dogs.
saying.
Some cheese.
Anything.
Oh, hot dogs are great. Holy shit. I'm sorry. I don't want to go, listen, I don't want to go down a rabbit hole, get off on a tangent. We'll do updates later. Anybody got anything before we jump over to Charlie? HR might have an announcement.
He has a lot to say tonight. You said bacon and he is here.
All right. Take us in, Charlie.
Well, you might not want to go down a rabbit hole, but we're going to be going down some holes. And my last episode, we went down the bottomless hole.
I hear that's how things happen.
Okay, so we're going to be talking about the Portland Underground, also known as the Shanghai Tunnels. This is a network of basements and tunnels in Portland's Old Town area. So here we go. So for years, Portland's so-called Shanghai Tunnels have been sold as a labyrinth where criminals kidnap thousands, dragging them to waiting ships. These tunnels are now a popular tourist attraction and have even attracted Ghost Adventures team, Zach Baggins and them guys, to investigate. But according to the work of Portland historian Barney Blaylock, which I think is a fantastic name, it's a lie. It's
Double B,
a profitable, spooky lie that's told to sell, to make money. And I was gonna go. I was really planning on going to the Portland Underground. You can take the tour to the Shanghai Tunnels, but it's like $70, and
It's a lot.
you just walk around in some basements and stuff. But there is truth to this. So and there is some spooky stuff attributed with this for sure. So I'm not gonna disillusion you completely, but just a little background. So by the late 19th and early 20th centuries, Portland was a major West Coast port city, second only to San Francisco. And that's kind of because we're on the West Coast. You obviously don't have to go all the way around, but this is before the Panama Canal. You don't have to go all the way around Cape Horn, and all that. So its location at the confluence of the Willamette and Columbia Rivers made it a hub for trade, timber, and shipping. And it was a port that, it was convenient-ish to go to Asia. So a lot of trading with Asia. So Portland's population surged around this time due to the Oregon Trail, railroad expansion, and industrialization. Many newcomers were laborers, sailors, and immigrants. And let me just scroll a little bit. Excuse me, sorry. So yes, these tunnels exist. Chinese laborers built these tunnels between the 1850s to the 1880s as freight corridors. Ships would unload wheat at the Willamette docks, and rather than try and get through the muddy streets, merchants would move the goods through the basements, and it's simple and efficient. One thing to note is this is before the Willamette River. So if you guys don't have any sense of Portland's geography here, the Willamette River kind of splits Portland directly in two. So Portland's built on both sides of it. So the Willamette River is now dammed at certain points, but back then it wouldn't have been. So in the rainy seasons it would have swelled. So if you have a tunnel that's at water level and the river rises, obviously things can flood. That's basically what I'm saying.
I'll be damned.
I was gonna say that earlier, Tim. I was like,
By the 1890s, Chinatown's tongs, or secret societies, repurposed some tunnels for gambling dens and brothels. They added steel doors, hidden staircases, and even escape routes that would lead out to alleyways. Police records show raids where officers battered down walls with sledgehammers, but not one of those reports mentions anything about kidnapped sailors. So we should talk a little bit about crimping. So obviously with all these ships and all these workers in town, ships would need sailors for these long haul trips, either going all the way around South America or going to Asia. And an easy and relatively cheap way to get workers, sailors on your ships would be to knock out guys at the bar and secretly put them on the ship while they're asleep, and then
they wake up on the ship.
They wake up on the ship and suddenly they're bound for China, essentially. So if the tunnels weren't for Shanghaiing, why do people think they were? Why, like, where does that myth come from? So crimping wasn't illegal. It was not against the law.
Well, if you call it that, it wouldn't be. But if you call it kidnapping, would it be illegal
right.
then?
Right. So it's kind of strange. But you know, the thing is, like, because it wasn't illegal in the eyes of, I mean, and there was very little law enforcement. There wasn't like an organized police force really. They would have like, you know, guards or something like that. But and it was pretty easy to bribe people. You know, if they're not making very much money, whatever. Here's $10. Let me go about my way. But it wasn't necessarily legal to do this. So you could just take people out the door. You wouldn't need a secret trap door or a tunnel or anything to sneak people onto the ship.
I like how they just rebranded it. Like the sheriff was like, hey, are you kidnapping those people? And they're like,
oh, no.
No,
We're
I'm selling them for
crimping.
profit.
Yeah. For $10, it's crimping.
And exactly. And these guys would, you know, crimpers, they would kidnap these guys, knock them unconscious, and they would make money.
Crimps.
They would get money from ship captains. So I'm going to tell you about two guys, Stuart Holbrook and Michael P. Jones. So Holbrook was a journalist in the 1930s who took a bunch of Portland's crime stories and turned them into pulp fiction. He wrote about crimps like the infamous Bunko Kelly, who we'll get to later. But he never really talked anything about the tunnels, but he would write these stories about crimping and Shanghaiing, and, you know, it was sensationalist, and it would be in the newspaper and people would read it. In the 1970s, this guy, Michael Jones, claimed to discover this tunnel network. He gave tours, and he said he mapped all the tunnels, and he promised that there was going to be a book, but it never materialized. We don't know where the map is. We don't know where the book is.
Damn.
But it stuck, and he started giving tours out of different restaurants. Old Town Pizza, which is no longer there, and it was something before that, obviously, but that was where he had his tours, and he made good money. He's like, oh yeah, I'll get a map, and then everybody can check it out. But so in reality, Shanghaiing was really brutal, but it happened above ground. So Bunko Kelly would operate in bars like Erickson's Saloon, which later became Hobo's, and he would lace drinks with laudanum. He would forge contracts, and he would pay drivers like his accomplice Tony Arnold, who would haul the unconscious men to the docks and sell them to ship captains for $50 a person, which turn of the century, that's pretty good money.
That's really good money.
So in 1933, Stuart Holbrook, who is writing about Shanghai, he writes this huge expose, but he never mentions the tunnels ever, because the victims just came through the alley, like either marched on their feet or they were in a wheelbarrow or a back of a horse carriage kind of thing. One 1906 case even describes sailors jumping onto ferries to escape the ship. But again, no tunnels are mentioned. But according to Holbrook, in his writing, over 1,500 men were crimped in this way. Is that true? No. Court records show maybe a dozen cases a year. And crimping wasn't made illegal until 1915. And police would look the other way because, sailors being sent to ships meant fewer drunk people on the streets. People, not sailors. They were made sailors, but these victims being taken from the bar meant less drunk people for them to deal with. So in 1963, an article in the Oregonian, which is our local paper, speculated about secret tunnels to waiting ships while describing a Chinese gambling den. Then in 1972, a bar owner turned a drainage tunnel into Shanghai Tunnel booths. So by 1976, Mr. Jones, that we talked about before, Michael Jones, was leading tours with no evidence at this place called Hobo's, came Erickson's Saloon. And, Portlanders fell for it, and they're like, there's no evidence for it or against it. Why not?
Tim is very interested at this topic.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this. My camera froze up, then I reset it, and now I'm just gone.
No, you're here.
You're here.
I'm here.
No, you're frozen with this look of intrigue.
Oh, you can see the froze still? Okay.
Hey, it's better than nothing, right?
Oh.
Now he's gone.
Porque. Charlie, are you good?
Yeah, I'm good. I was just
okay, good.
making sure we're all...
Kick me when I came back. I'm good.
Okay, cool.
Didn't mean to interrupt you, Charlie. Sorry.
No, you're good.
So, all of these people, they just had to learn how to crew a ship with no prior knowledge.
Basically, yeah.
While they're hungover.
While they're hungover. So Bunko Kelly, this guy was wild, because he didn't really care how he did it. Laudanum was kind of the main thing, also known as a Mickey Fin. So when you say someone slipped you the Mickey,
ooh,
that's where that term comes from, which means essentially drugging someone.
Yeah, it's
spiking
roofie, right?
a drink.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was gonna ask, were they knocking people out just over the head, or were they slipping stuff in their drinks?
Obviously, you want them to be in fair enough physical condition, but apparently these ship captains were not all that troubled about
All right. Scenario, Maria. I walk up to you and I'm like, hey, does this rag smell like chloroform to you? Will that work?
No.
But there's these bars like White Eagle Saloon, and lots of other ones in kind of Old Town Portland that people would just gravitate towards, and they were, they would be saloons or brothels and things. And so these guys were probably pretty drunk already, to be honest, a lot of the time. And a lot of them probably were sailors, at least at one point in their life. So maybe they already have some experience. But you're kind of looking for people who are in good physical condition, look like they can do work, have all their appendages and limbs, but other than that, if someone's passed out or groggy or whatever, and you've got someone like Bunko Kelly, he's got a contract.
Got a solution.
That says,
yeah.
He's like, he's got a contract that says he signed up for a full tour, full cruise, 5 years before the mask kind of thing. He's like, okay, cool, throw him on board. And even to the extent, sometimes they couldn't get laudanum. So sometimes, like in one infamous case, Bunko Kelly used embalming fluid.
Oh, God.
Which is nasty. And besides the fact, it will knock you out. It is like a psychoactive, alcoholic kind of thing. But he also delivered several dead bodies, which is kind of wild. But again, they're just like, they don't know, because they just assume this guy's knocked out. They don't know to check the pulse or check if he's breathing or whatever. Just like, whatever, throw him on the ship. Here's $50. You have a contract. I don't care.
Might be dead. Whatever.
Yeah, it's the risk you're going to take if you're
you
going
can
to
pay for a sailor. You can
someone.
pay for a corpse. Whatever. We'll see what happens.
In another
Roll the
case,
dice.
are you guys aware of cigar store Indians?
Yeah, I've seen that. They're like statues, right?
Yeah, they're like wooden carvings or statues.
Yeah.
Of a Native
Oh.
American, and they're outside of cigar store, usually to advertise the tobacco kind of thing. So in one case, Bunko Kelly wrapped one of those up in a old coat kind of thing and sold it for $50. It's like, here's a contract. Nobody, I don't know how they don't notice that. So take that with a grain of salt. That might be apocryphal, but anyway. So as I said, court records show maybe a dozen cases of this annually, and police just look the other way. Bunko eventually was found guilty, not of crimping or shanghaiing or kidnapping or any of that, but of just murder, which is, I guess that's good. Get him put away somehow.
Now you've crossed the line. Okay,
Yeah,
Bunko.
That's too much. Now that we can actually prove that you killed someone on purpose.
Too far.
Too far. But he escaped jail and was never seen again. So who knows where old Bunko Kelly end up. So what does it matter if these stories aren't true? Like, why do we care about that? Well, because it erases the real history of Chinese laborers who built these tunnels. They faced racist laws. There's, a lot of the reason they use these tunnels is to get around town without going on top of or on normal surface streets. So they wouldn't have to face any racial laws or, as Kay might know, Oregon used to be an exclusion state for a long time, meaning they didn't allow any black people in the state.
I actually just learned that this weekend because of TikTok.
There you go.
I didn't know that until this weekend.
So apparently, because Chinese laborers were coming over on ships, they were fine or they got some kind of pass, but still, obviously, there was discrimination. So they used these tunnels to get around town and, in some cases, gambling dens and brothels and that kind of thing. The Tongs, which are these secret societies that use the tunnels to survive, not to kidnap sailors. So many stories of the Shanghai Tunnels are exaggerated, but historical records confirm that crimping was real. Some of the places were the Merchant Hotel, Erickson Saloons, which used to be hobos, and then I think that became Old Town Pizza. These buildings, a lot of these buildings have been around since the turn of the century. Not all of them are there anymore, obviously. I don't know. So there's one place I know, kind of in Old Town Chinatown, that gives the tours. I don't know if those tunnels are real or if it's, again, a lot of these are just basements. A lot of old buildings have basements in Portland. The White Eagle I've seen that tunnel. There used to be a tunnel. They cemented it over. I've seen that one in person, and the building that now houses Kel's Irish Saloon. If you go down to their private cigar room downstairs, they can show you where, again, a lot of these are just cemented over, but so they were connected, and they were real ones. And lest we forget, some of these people's, this is still old timey stuff. People were in the tunnels, so they were haunted. Allegedly there are hauntings. So
allegedly.
Are they $70 hauntings though, Charlie?
Well, I guess you're about to find out.
Oh, all right.
So I want to talk about the White Eagle because I've spent a lot of time there. It's a bar, it's a music venue. I played a lot of shows there. It's a cool old building. They've got like one of the original gas lamps still with a gas flame, which is really cool. So the White Eagle had a real history that's plenty traumatic. So in 1905, it opened as a Polish saloon, and it became a brothel and a gambling den to attract to the local Polish population. During Prohibition, bootleggers installed a vault door in the basement, and staff report a ghost named Rose. So stories about Rose. She was a sex worker, and so there are 4 hotel rooms that you can stay at the White Eagle, and if you go to room 3, you can hear her crying about a sailor who never returned. So I've had some friends who worked at the White Eagle. I've actually worked there for a night as well.
Oh wow!
And if you talk to the staff, I've talked to staff who say they've had their hair pulled, they've had, they've felt hands on their legs, things like that as they're going up and down the stairs up to the hotel rooms. Again, this is maybe it's anecdotal.
2 questions, Charlie.
Yes.
Number 1, when you worked there for the night, what did you do? And then number 2, when you were there, did you experience anything?
When I was there, I was cooking dinner.
Checks out.
It was not. It's a very small kitchen.
White Eagle paid you $400, didn't they?
No, I wish. Ugh. What was it? I was probably making like $18 at that time, and I probably got some kind of bonus because this company McMinimans, they buy all these old buildings. So if you remember, I talked about Edgefield last year.
Yeah, I remember that actually.
So Edgefield is part of the same company that owns White Eagle now, and a bunch of other old buildings, including Crystal Hotel, which maybe I'll do another episode on Crystal Hotel if you guys want to know about that one.
Yeah, I want to know, Charlie.
Yeah.
I'm dying to know.
So I didn't really experience anything, but my friend did show me down in the basement because they just store food down there now. And she showed me the cemented over hole in the ground that would have led to the old tunnels. So yeah, there's Rose. Then there's Sam, who he was a bartender, and his photo is still above the bar. They have a lot of these old photos showing what the White Eagle would have looked like, or did look like, years and years before. And Sam was kind of a mischievous guy, but he was well liked, and people liked him. Apparently, all he does is flood the toilets and move glasses around on the bar and stuff.
What are the odds?
Just good old Sam.
It's a good time to plug our Taco Bell episode.
Join us next week, everybody. No, 2 weeks from now.
Conversations we have behind closed doors, Tims. Wouldn't you know? What are the odds?
I was just going to say, sounds like your average tenant, happens all the time.
Yeah. I guess. Nice guy, I guess. So down in the basement, people talk about seeing shadow figures near the vault where illegal liquor was stored. Could these echoes or ghosts be echoes of real events or people? Paranormal investigators call it stone tape theory. I'm sure you guys have probably talked about it on the podcast before, I assume. where intense emotion will imprint on a location. There was violence, it was a saloon around the turn of the century. There was things going on, but probably not Shanghaiing there, or at least not through the tunnels. Maybe people were drugged, I don't know. So some other locations. So a lot of basements and basement have hauntings which match verified crimes. So Old Town Pizza, which I've mentioned a few times before, that was another brothel, and the brothel was in these tunnels in the basement.
So many brothels, Charlie.
Lots of brothels. I don't know what to say. I mean, Portland's Portland, I guess. It doesn't
had to make money.
And when they were going through it, they found cages in the basement. That's probably where women were held, and people have reported hearing cries in the basement. I talked about Kells, and Kells used to have in the basement, they would store opium, and people have reported feeling cold spots in those areas in the basement. Erickson Saloon, which was hobos, people have reported seeing a 7-foot shadow that walks through. So might that be tied to something? We don't know. I don't know. So are the tours totally fake? No, I mean, things really happened in the basement. Illegal activity, questionable activity, violent activity, but just not specifically Shanghaiing. So the term Shanghai Tunnels, according to Barney Blaylock, who's this Portland historian, they're just mislabeled. The ghosts aren't lost sailors or whatever. They're just marginalized people that are, had a bad lot in life. I know I had more here. Hold on. I'm sorry. Talk amongst yourself.
I was just going to say opium cages and brothels. That sounds like my kind of party.
Oh
Tim.
no.
If you guys would like to contribute $1,000 to the Late Night Legends Patreon, Tim and I will go with you to a brothel and do some opium with you.
Great.
Colin
It's
will
a
be our
good
driver
thing.
and Charlie will be our cook.
It is a good thing that HR is asleep over here.
I must act quickly when HR is asleep.
Oh, so I was going to say, so at Old Town Pizza, there is a trap door in the floor. And so this kind of ties in with a lot of the myth. People say that that's where you would drug somebody and drop them through the trap door. Probably it was just for like cargo or moving stuff.
There's like some Sweeney Todd type of vibes going on.
Yeah,
right now.
I mean, there's some of that. And also a lot of this, you could just coerce people. If you knew they had a debt, it was kind of like bail bondsman kind of thing.
Yeah.
You just threaten them. It's like, well, you can either go to jail or pay this debt or work on
Go on
a
a
ship
vacation
for
and get
no
paid for
money. Yeah. It was kind of like indentured servitude, where maybe you were making money, but it was paying back your debt, so you had to work for a certain amount of time. So
Davy Jones Locker.
they, yeah. So Oregon became a state in 1859, but Portland retained a rough frontier atmosphere well until the 1900s. Corruption was rampant. Officials often turned a blind eye. In 1882, the Chinese Exclusion Act was signed, which fueled xenophobia, and Portland's Chinese population faced discrimination. So they tried to avoid being, like I said, they would build these tunnels so they could be safe. But also some Chinese laborers were made the victims of crimping. They were shanghaied. The timber, railroad, and shipping industries relied on cheap and forced labor. which created conditions where crimping thrived. You would with sailing, with shipping, on a ship, it's obviously easier to keep people from escaping. If someone's out in the forest, they can just run into the forest and live there. By the early 1900s, steamships were replacing wind-powered vessels, but the demand for sailors remained high for long-haul routes. The U.S. was entering the progressive era with movements against corruption, labor abuses, and vice. However, crimping persisted in port cities until stricter maritime laws were enacted. I want to point out that Shanghai was not unique to Portland. Any port city, San Francisco, Seattle, Liverpool, London, but because of the infamy now and the stories we've been sold, it's kind of attributed to Portland a little bit more, maybe. So in 1910, the White Slave Traffic Act was signed. It increased scrutiny on maritime labor practices and reduced crimping, which is good. So that's
it's a win.
And then I think it was 1915 in Portland where a law of equal measure was passed.
I was gonna say, so was that law protection for only whites against crimping?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, slavery was made illegal. There was an amendment for that, but I don't know.
Hey, things get sketchy.
Because it's not slavery. It's indentured servitude. So as Portland modernized, the old underground passages were eventually sealed up and repurposed. And many stories are still exaggerated, but historical records confirm that crimping was real. And like I said, these two guys, one in the 30s, a journalist in the 30s, and then one in the 70s, just saw these stories as a way to make a buck, essentially. And sensationalized it, and there you go. Do I have an outro? Did I write an outro? So next time you hear about Portland Shanghai Tunnels, remember the real horror isn't ghosts or kidnappings. It's how easily we rewrite history for a thrill. These tunnels do hold secrets, but just not the ones your tour guides describe.
The tunnels, were they basement level or were they below basement level?
So in some cases, like Kells in particular, I know that one's like a sub basement because you go down into the lowest level. That's where their cigar room is, which I highly recommend you check out, by the way. Not just because my friend is the head chef at Kells.
But if you don't smoke a cigar, you just go down there to stand and...
Well, it's got all these nice booths. It's really like classy, like leather and anyway, you don't have to have a cigar. You can just drink whiskey and hang out. But yeah, so then from there you actually go down further, and that's so kind of a sub basement or a lower level. And at White Eagle, just because of the kind of the way the geography on that side of the river, which is the east side, it's kind of, the White Eagle's built into a hill, so they have a basement for the building, and then the tunnels just kind of went straight down, and then there's a lower level. So it depends on where the building is. A lot of them, I'm sure, just connect at basement level, but a lot of them go deeper, or did. I think a lot of them are kind of closed up now, just for safety's sake and things. Yeah, and people, you can go and take the tour. Again, I didn't do it, and I'm sorry, guys. I should have gotten you some real video, but people say you can see ghosts. Like they talk about Sam and talk about the 7-foot shadow and things like that.
Even if I did see a 7-foot shadow, is it worth $70? I'd rather have a $70. I'd rather have $70.
I don't know. Maybe.
I can see shadows anywhere, Charlie.
A shadow in a basement that's darker than darker than the shadows. I don't know.
Have like any of the
They-
sections
potentially.
collapsed?
No, not to my knowledge. I mean, maybe it's kind of hard to know for sure, but I haven't heard of any of that. Maybe I'll look it up.
Oh, we lost Kay.
Yeah, I don't know.
This is your co-pilot speaking. Our pilot has gone to the bathroom.
Too much talk about Taco Bell.
Too much Taco Bell.
Just in a quick Google search. No collapsing, to my knowledge.
Yeah, it seems like a cool place to visit, but $70 does seem a little excessive.
Well,
Did they at
should
least
get,
hook
like,
you up
the
with a
full
free drink or
service, right?
something?
Yeah,
you know?
you
Whiskey
do get
and
a beer
cigar.
flight. You do
Thank
get
God. All right. That
Yeah,
makes it a little bit more tolerable.
It's
I
something.
mean, how long is it? Like a 2-hour tour? Because I remember going on the one in Seattle where they have the underground thing.
Yeah, I love the Seattle.
And it was
Underground.
cool. Yeah.
They should give you a couple of drinks, and then the tour should be the free part. And they should just position it as get a little loose and then go down to the tunnels. That's how they should do it. Not here's a
Yeah.
7
Have a
foot
few
shadow.
drinks and head down to the brothel.
Yeah. Dude, oh my God.
Should be
They'd get the
title.
line out the door for that.
Mm-hmm. They just need new marketing.
I just looked up some pictures and yeah, it looks spooky. Like
It's very spooky.
very
I mean,
ghost welcoming.
Can you also send me some of those pictures, Charlie, so I can put something good on the old thumbnail, unless you got an
yes,
idea?
Absolutely.
And then whenever you'd like, give us some reactions too. Just right here in the middle of the show is fine. As long as we're looking to fill time.
It's a 90-minute tour.
Oh.
And sorry, I was thinking it was $70 because it would have been me and my girlfriend. It's $38.
Not as
Oh,
bad.
that's not terrible.
Oh,
It's
okay.
not terrible, but my girlfriend doesn't drink, so like, what is she gonna do? I don't know.
Boo.
Hopefully get scared and hold your hand, right?
Hopefully, yeah. Yeah, Haunted Underground Shanghai Tunnels tour, 14,000 square feet, that's quite a lot of room.
That's pretty big, yeah.
And they've kind of rebuilt a bar down there, so you're down there in the lamp light, and they give you a beer flight.
I mean,
Could
with
be
all
cool.
the like history behind it, I can see it like what you said, just the energy from the history holding on to like the walls and just
Yeah,
like
absolutely. Yeah.
even if it's not ghosts, just like, you know, energies of like something that happened in the past, like replaying again.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be a great place to take a Ouija board.
Oh yeah. And like I said, Zach Baggins and Ghost Adventures guys, they went at one point. On this website of the ShanghaiTunnels.com, they have guest pictures, and you can see kind of ghostly things. That there's a 7-foot shadow. That's him.
You know, it'd be really fun if as a group we took a Ouija board, and then just to fuck with you guys, I set up elaborate pranks around the area just to like have something triggered. We asked the Ouija board something.
Oh, maybe for
I'm
one of
already
the.
brainstorming.
But now you said that, so
There you go,
we're
Frank. There's the-
expecting it.
There's the 7-foot shadow, by the way.
Oh,
Can
I'm
you-
about to,
can you
I'm
see him?
about to go look. Charlie, there's a lot of things here in this photo,
Shadow.
but it looks like somebody took a picture, had it fully developed, and then accidentally dropped it in like bleach a little bit or something.
Could be.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Is the shadow like at the top of the stairs or?
No, it's like at least from where I'm sitting, it's kind of like the middle of the frame. So the top of the stairs, there's his head. You can kind of see
I don't know.
his arms. It's
I'll
a
say
little-
this: I'm not gonna be closed-minded to the 7-foot shadow, but I will say that I would appreciate actually being there in person to see it rather than a photo.
Okay.
That's where I'll compromise here.
Like, can people see it with their eyes, or is it just like show up in pictures?
Say with their hands,
I'm not.
They feel it with their
Sure.
body,
taste it with their mouths.
hear it with their ears.
No, they see with their tongues and they hear with their.
Makes sense.
You guys be nice. She asked a question.
Bria, when we were on Super Bowls this one day, I was like, you know what they call boats? The plains of the sea.
I thought it was a good question. I was just piggybacking off Frank. I don't know why. I don't know why. He just makes me want to piggyback.
Hey, I'm just here so I don't get fined. Okay, I'm here to press the live button. And I'll be here every single episode when Kay takes her time off, because who else is going to press that live button?
Mhm.
I guess anybody could, technically. Probably.
I think it looks scary. I like the picture. I'd like to go there and check it out.
Yeah,
It would be actually fun to go, Charlie, to be all honest. I would pay $40. I've paid $40 for worse things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Have you?
We were talking about this game that I bought earlier that I've never played before. I mean, that was just earlier tonight. We were talking about that waste of money.
$300.
For a game you never played.
I'll go get it right now. You guys want to see it? I'll pull it out of my closet right now. We'll play it together when we go up to Portland. Are we going to Portland? I don't want to go to Portland.
Why not?
Oregon is fine, but I want to go to Portland. I've heard some bad stuff about Portland.
Portland's great. I love Portland.
I'll pass.
I don't know.
There.
Come to Vancouver then.
Tim's like, I'll pass. I've been there.
Don't go to Portland.
Vancouver's like better Portland. You can just come to
Like
Vancouver.
Canada?
No, like across the river, Vancouver, Washington.
Oh, okay.
Last time I went to Portland, I was on a business trip, and the hotel they had me stay at was like a motel. It had the doors on the outside, and the doors were chalkboards, and there was chalk inside the room with condoms. But it was like the cheapest one you could
What
get.
kind of place
It
what
was
kind of brothel?
in the under $500 a night like list because of how expensive this shit is there.
Okay.
And I remember waking up the next day, and then somebody had drew on their door free mustache ride. So I'll pass on Portland.
Okay, hold on. Let's take this approach logically. Tim, I'm going to ask you a series of questions. I want some answers. Okay. You've been to Portland. You've been to Arizona. Have you been to Colorado?
Yep.
Have you been to Chicago?
Yep.
Out of these places,
I've been to San Francisco. I've been to Boston.
No. Hold on. I'm not
Worst
asking
place
about.
out of all of them is Portland.
I'm talking about out of Oregon, out of Washington, out of Colorado, Chicago, and Arizona. Which is the cool? I don't want any Arizona bias, but which out of the not Arizona, which is the coolest place to visit? Because that's where we're gonna have our outing.
Hold up. Out of okay, so take out Arizona, out of Chicago, Colorado, and Chicago.
No, Chicago, Colorado, and I do
Portland.
understand we're comparing
Portland.
state to city.
Yeah, and Portland. Sorry. So
Like if you want to compare
Colorado.
Denver, okay, so Denver, Chicago, Portland, or Washington State, because that's I don't know what's
out of
really,
those, I'd pick Chicago.
Yes, we're gonna have our outing right here, y'all. I got a sofa now. Y'all can come over anytime.
Convenient because Frank is scared of planes. So
I'm like a BA Baracus on the A team. I ain't flying.
I'm okay with Oregon, and I'm okay with Washington. I'm just not a fan of Seattle or Portland.
I think it's funny how big of a variation you have, because neither Charlie or myself live in Portland, but you have very different perspectives where Charlie's like, oh yeah, I love Portland. I'll go in. Like, they have great restaurants. They have great nightlife. They have all of this stuff. And I live about the same distance from Portland. And I'm like, if I can at all avoid going into Portland,
I think
don't want to step a foot in Portland.
it might be how I feel about Chicago, right? So like, I do not like Chicago. I hated living there. I don't like visiting it. God forbid I need to drive through it. However, I will not take away people that do like it because they like the nightlife, or they have a lifestyle that complements living in the city, and they like walking around and going to fairs and all that stuff. I personally, not for me. But hey, it's for some people, right?
For sure.
Yeah. No, I'm not negating the fact that I know Portland has a lot of great bars and restaurants and things to do, places to visit. Absolutely. But it's funny that you see people feel very strongly about Portland one way or another. I'm so scared of Portland. I'm like, if I go in there, I'm going to die.
I don't know. If it's like Chicago, even on my block that was a safe neighborhood, people were getting stabbed almost every other day. And that's like not an exaggeration. Within half a mile, like people were getting hurt, shot, stabbed, fought. There'd be people dressing up as clowns just to scare other people. Like, there's all type of shit. But that's totally different. I don't want to sidetrack.
Well, it's different. It depends, I think, on what you care about too, right? Like Like Chicago, I think if you feel more comfortable around that, it's like whatever. But like for me, Portland was like I was walking down the street wondering if I was going to get high before I got to my customer meeting. You can't tell who's homeless and who's just smoking on the street, right? It's just.
I mean, the homeless people look like the non-homeless people. Is that what you're saying about Portland?
100%, dude.
Oh God, Charlie.
We have a look.
Fair enough.
We all have a look.
No, I was down there 2 days ago, and every white guy I saw had a crossbody bag and short shorts on, and I was just like, "Is this the new uniform? We've changed."
Did you ever see that meme? There's a really funny meme that reminds me of where it's like, there's I don't know where in the U.S. it is, but all of the wives conspired together and made their husbands dress the exact same for like a party.
Yeah.
And they show up and they all look they all have like the mustache and the aviators and they all have like the same shirt and the shorts. It's hilarious. I don't know if Chicago has a uniform.
But it sounds funny.
Chicago might just be shirtless with like those cargo shorts for men.
Depends on where you go in Arizona. There's like the Richie area where everybody looks the same, right?
They look like you? I mean, you're in Arizona, right?
I said there's Richie areas of Arizona, right? Like,
I don't know.
Different places you go to.
Not
the,
Tim's
the,
house,
the people all look plastic and yeah.
All I'm saying is everybody should fly out to Chicago because I'm not letting the TSA touch my junk. So y'all should fly to Chicago and I'll let you sit on my sofa.
Oh, you want the TSA to touch our junk?
Yeah. I'm better you than me, Tim. Let me tell you. Or the train. Listen, I have full. Here's the thing. There's no TSC for the train. I'm gonna be taking a honeymoon soon. The one that I've been trying to plan for the last couple of years. I'm gonna take a train all the way to the West Coast.
Yeah.
And it's not gonna go. It's gonna go Portland adjacent. I don't think it's going into Portland, but it's gonna be passing it and like whatever the major train station is, like right outside of there. I think is what we looked at. We've been planning this for a couple of years.
How long has it been since you flew, Frank? They got this machine that just scans you now. They don't even
I think I was 11 years old. I went to Mexico. That was the last time I flew.
Yeah. Frank is terrified of planes.
I'm not terrified. I don't want. They're like, let me touch your junk or let me see it on the camera with the X-ray. And I'm like,
They don't see your junk.
I
They
disagree.
used to. they
can
brought
see the
down
outline
the
of it in the,
sensitivity on it.
in that thing. Oh, they can't see it anymore?
No, not anymore.
Well, you seem to know a lot about this.
I fly
what you
a
can
lot.
see. Do you fly a lot, actually?
At certain times, yes, I go through periods where I fly a lot, and then I go through periods where I don't fly a lot.
That's cool.
Don't forget to check out Kay's new website, tsaphotos.com.
I mean, what better place can I get together with a whole bunch of people? We gotta all take our shoes off. Get to
All right,
see the
guys.
dogs.
We're still waiting for people from our last show to send us their feet pics for Maria to analyze. But people that are listening to this show, if you'd like to send us a full body picture of yourself, and then Kay will put it through her X-ray scanner and then send you an outline of your own junk, go ahead and do that.
Will do.
Oh boy.
Sorry, Charlie. Let's turn it into Super Balls real quick. I'm so sorry. I'm just getting warmed up for tomorrow.
We're just gonna keep all comments inside. Shh.
I can edit everything out, and the show could be like 30 minutes if you want.
You say that, and then you never do.
That's true.
Yeah.
I will say this. For all of the off-topic, off-color stuff that we've kind of mixed into these shows, I don't really see anybody really like complaining like,
No.
oh my God, guys, stop talking about junk outlines and get back to the tunnels, you know, like.
Except for that one person who watched Valiant Thor about a month ago. We don't want to hear about your cake.
2 years later.
I'm like,
He's like, oh God, come on. He kept commenting.
like the only person left from that show is Frank. It's not even us.
It's
Nobody cares about your cake. This shit is so ass.
Oh yeah, he did say that, didn't he?
Well, apologies to anyone who went on the Shanghai Tunnels tour in 2 years from now, and they're commenting.
I would actually like to know if anybody's been on this tour. Let us know in the comments what it's like. Is it worth it? Is it worth the $30-something? And what did you see if you did go? That would be really cool. It's a good call out. Although I also will say that most of the time when I ask people to comment something specific, they don't. They just say whatever.
I haven't been, I believe it wasn't Portland. I have been to one of these tours. It might have been San Francisco. I can't really remember. I was younger. Mom, if you're listening to this, text me in a week when this publishes.
Comment down below, Mom.
Yeah, comment down below, Mom, and tell me where we went. I remember we went in tunnels. I think it might have been San Francisco. But it was kind of the same thing. It's really cool. It was haunted. Supposedly, you got free beer at the end, but I was like 12.
They gave you free beer at 12.
No, they didn't.
Oh, good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's very bad to get beer at that age. Well, all right. Well, Mr. Charlie.
Sorry, I don't have anything else.
Are we taking the ladder out of the hole now?
Yeah, I think we're done exploring the underground. I think we got to get out of the basement.
Thank you for taking us through the Shanghai Tunnels. There in the comments, if you'd like to put in the comments how much you would pay for Charlie to be your tour guide in this podcast, I'd like to see some dollar amounts.
And then maybe that'll be a Patreon tier, and we'll see.
I would do just a ridiculous Patreon for Late Night Legends, like just outrageous things, like nothing for $1, or like maybe I'll do a tier. It's like, okay, Late Night Legends, give us $1, support us.
Yeah,
and then I'll have us another tier that's $2. It's like kind of like the first tier, but you just give us another $1. and then
you gotta do a shout out to a mom, right? That's your thing.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
We should do that for Mother's Day. People can give us $1 and we'll do a shout out to their mom. Love it. If you give us $5 in 2 weeks, we're doing a show where all of us are going to eat Taco Bell, and we will take that $5 and we will go to Taco Bell, and you give us the $5 and you give us an order, and one of us will get it.
We'll buy that fucking Lux box. Let me tell you.
Yeah.
Do you guys have the Lux box by you or no?
I don't know.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
we do.
I had that the day you were making tacos.
Ooh. The day that so everybody listen to this move, okay? I got a grill and I bought some tacos for my birthday, and I was grilling tacos for my birthday. I sent everybody in the chat a nice little picture of my tacos. And then you got Tim, who replied to my picture and said, "Hey, look where I'm at. I'm having tacos too." He's in the Taco Bell drive-thru.
I said I love your tacos, but I already got some. I told you I'd rather have the homemade tacos, didn't I?
And then Tim took the next week off. And then we're like, "Hey, Tim, what happened?" He's like, "How do you think I got this way?" Or what did he say? No, how do you think I ended up here? Or how do you think I ended up like this?
There's a lot of taco talk tonight.
It's a lot of taco talk that ends up with that. How do you think I ended up like this?
Tim, I would imagine being in Arizona, tacos are pretty great by you. Like, there's got to be a ton of...
That's what I'm saying, though. I mean, they're better than Taco Bell.
Can I actually ask a
when you're in a hurry,
food question?
Box is nice and easy.
That's true.
Can I ask an Arizona food question, Tim? Like for reals?
Of course.
It's kind of a loaded question. A, are hatch peppers a huge thing? Or hatch chilies? B, are they really good? Because we don't really have them here, but everybody talks about them. And then C, what would be the best vessel to try said food?
I don't know. I don't really know. And I've never had hatch chilies here unless it's in the food that they've made, and I've never really paid attention.
Is it New Mexico or is it Arizona?
New Mexico for sure.
Everywhere
I went in New Mexico, they asked, okay, red or green? And I'm like, green, duh, because delicious. Hatch chili cheeseburger. Oh my God. That's so good. I had hatch chili chilaquiles. Fantastic.
I make those every week, but not hatch chili.
Oh, it's hatch chili.
Just regular.
It's just a particular kind of pepper
Type of chili.
Type of chili pepper that's grown in certain areas in New Mexico. And it's kind of like the big divisive thing. Are you red or are you green?
Actually, you know what? That's not, I mean, that's kind of a thing, team red or team green, but it's not for hatch chili. It's just for salsa and chili in general.
Oh.
Like for me, I'm on, and usually it's like the green is like the tomatillo green, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which I am proud to say I'm a member of team green. I am not team red. You team green too, Charlie?
Yeah.
Maria, what team you on?
I don't really like spicy food, but sometimes I'll get green instead because it just tastes better at times.
You guys, Kay, Tim, you guys like some spicy? You
I'm
know,
red, but
your team red?
Like Rubio's, I get the Diablo.
Wow, Tim's team red. Kind of checks out.
More towards green, but I only like spice if it adds to the flavor. If it's gonna make my mouth numb, and then I can't even taste the food.
Exactly. Like if it's
That's not
just
my thing.
spicy and there's no flavor to it, then what's the point?
Right.
No, Hatch
Yeah.
chilies aren't like mega spicy or
Right.
anything. It's just like
Are they like
nice-
bell peppers spicy? Like not spicy at all? Or
No.
what are
I'd
they, like a
say
serrano?
they're like a step above that, but they're really like umami, good flavor. Like
I really don't like that
savory.
word, Charlie.
Don't
I
like
know-
the
I
word
know.
umami.
Dude,
Not
I
like
feel like
habanero.
it's so cliche of something to say, that word. It's just a pet peeve of mine where I'm just like, it's like for I'm not saying you're doing this. I don't want to start something, but that word bothers me just because like I feel like it's such a cop out for people to say. They'll just be like, oh, this tastes good, so they'll just throw that word in there. And I understand like what it actually means, but I don't know, man. For me here in this area, I feel like it was a real trend here in the Chicago area for people to just say
For sure.
everything is umami. Fucking everything. Mustard is umami. I'm like, no, it's not. I don't know about that.
It's the first time I ever heard that word. What does it mean?
It's like a word that kind of closely means savory, but more complicated.
comes from
than that, I think,
Japan,
right?
yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, they say it's like the sixth flavor or something. Yeah, salty, sweet, sour.
You see though the problem though, Tim. Like listen to Charlie's description. Salty, sweet, sour. Like it's everything. Like everything is umami, right? So like, what the fuck? Like,
All right. Hatch chilies offer a complex flavor profile ranging from earthy and slightly pungent when raw to smoky and buttery when roasted.
smoky and buttery. That's what I needed. Actually, those are my two favorite tastes. So I'll try one.
Smoky and buttery when talking about a chili.
You just put them on hamburgers?
Yeah, Hatch chili cheeseburger are really popular.
Charlie, since Tim has never tried one, but you clearly have, what is the best way to try the Hatch chili?
So one night I went to like a Mexican restaurant and they just gave me like a bowl of like roasted, chopped up Hatch chilies. So that's a pretty good way to go because then you can.
It was Mexican restaurant, not New Mexican restaurant. I'm for real though, because like people start taking sides over like cuisine. Like Tex-Mex is different from authentic Mexican, and then
It definitely
like,
wasn't like authentic. It was like a New Mexican, I guess.
Oh, okay.
An American Mexican kind of place, but it was just a burrito with rice and beans and chicken, and then I was able to add the Hatch chilies to my taste, which I thought was great.
So you're saying try to get it and put
Just
it like
get
on a
it on
burrito
the
or
side.
something. I feel like I was at a store and they were selling it in a jar, and I'm like, is this the best way for my first endeavor? Is like a jar Hatch chili okay, or should I get it in a can? Should I buy it fresh? Should I grow some? Do I visit you guys and then buy it and like up in your state? But that's not where they're
Definitely
from.
not here, no. Go to New Mexico and get it.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm sure if it's in a jar, preserved and fairly fresh, maybe it's fine. I think maybe it's a little hyped up. I think they're really good. Don't get me wrong, but maybe it's just like a little bit of like the name recognition hype kind of thing too.
Like the regional hype.
Like, oh man, the Hatch chilies. And they,
What else does New Mexico got going for it? I guess I could understand the hype a little bit.
not a lot.
They got
They got a science teacher that makes meth.
Yeah, that's about it. The Albuquerque hot air balloon fiesta. Highly recommend.
never heard of it.
It's really cool. I'll send you some pictures.
We adventured out of these Shanghai tunnels. We're
Yeah.
now walking to another state, guys.
We're way out.
Let's go into final thoughts. Who wants to start us off?
I'll go first.
Thank you, Tim.
Yeah. I was interested in learning more about crimping and crimpers. And I think just because of what they do and how they steal people and kind of human traffic, then they should be called crimps instead. But it's a very interesting subject. It's funny how there's so much history and you don't know what's myth and what's reality. I mean, that's kind of par for the course in the stuff we talk about, I guess. But it is true, I think, kind of what you said about how some of the myths might degrade the real history and culture behind it. So it's kind of cool to hear everything. And if I ever do end up in that area, I'll take a tour.
Yeah, I hadn't heard about the Shanghai tunnels and their history until now, so it's pretty interesting learning about it. And then the 7-foot shadow. Can you see it with your eyes? Who knows?
Maria, I'm so sorry. Shit.
One thing I learned from tonight is if you are going to commit a crime, just rebrand it and then you don't get in trouble. To call it something else and maybe bribe law enforcement. Hopefully that will work for you. You should try it and let me know how it works in the comments. We're doing, if you're listening live in 2 weeks, we're doing a show themed around Taco Bell. If you're listening to this after the fact, we're doing a show in 1 week around Taco Bell. And so put your Taco Bell orders in the comments and one of us might order what you like to order and bring it to the show.
Oh my God.
So, and
that's such a good idea.
We'll give you a little shout out if one of us decides to do it.
Well, follow that up, Charlie.
Not to be too pedantic, but surely if someone's listening to the recorded episode, it will still be 2 weeks before the Taco Bell episode comes out, right?
1 week.
I mean, it'll be a week before the live episode where we do it, but then if they're listening to the
Get your tacos ready.
Doesn't matter.
Just I want your taco order, okay?
Go ahead and subscribe, hit that bell down there, and you'll see the Taco Bell episode whenever it comes to you.
Yes.
I learned a lot. This is something that I was kind of aware of, kind of Shanghaiing kind of vaguely in the ether. I remember reading a book about it when I was a kid, maybe a couple books, you just kind of hear it and like, oh, the Shanghai Tunnels. Oh, okay. So clearly it's real and it happened. And I wanted to look into it because I knew that they were there, and I've been lucky enough to be able to go into these basements and stuff and see where they were. But to be able to kind of find another layer and understand that it's not just what you hear and what is sold to you, but there's more there if you're looking. So anyway.
Don't read the chat.
Too late.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys for bearing with me, and let me know in the comments what you want me to do next. We'll do another Portland landmark. Why not?
Charlie, do you have any undecided topics for the rest of the year? I don't remember if you gave me your days yet. And don't you have at least one or two?
I've got several undecided topics for sure. I mean,
I know I looked it up. So I know Maria has one undecided. I think you have at least one or two.
Yeah, what I mean to say is I don't have any topics decided for however many episodes I have left for the rest of the year. So,
all right. Well, I'll close it up. Awesome topic. I really had a lot of fun. Anytime that we can get a paranormal topic that's actually historical and not clearly bullshit, I really like. But it might be, according to some of these people that do not like the tour. However, I don't know. It seems kind of fun, and I guess what I naturally kind of think is like tunnels like that probably would be haunted. It's probably an easier sell on it being haunted than some of the other things that are out there for a haunted attraction, because Lord knows every place is haunted. I actually listened to two people who I was not in their conversation, but they were talking about like, oh yeah, like everywhere in every major city is haunted because death happens everywhere. And that's a very interesting thought, right? Theoretically, so many places could be haunted all around you, but they're kind of not, right? I don't know. I'm still a skeptic. I still want to believe. I would say Shanghai Tunnels would be a good place for me to go there and then become an actual full-fledged believer. So with that being said, definitely let us know if you like this one. Definitely put down in the comments your Taco Bell order and what you'd like Charlie to talk about next, or if you've got a special request, we will definitely take those into consideration and give you a shout if we really like that stuff. But thank you for tuning in. Thank you for telling a friend. Thank you for visiting the local haunted brothel and seeing a picture of your mom on the wall and finding out she was a sex worker and then giving her a big wet kiss anyway. We will see you all next week. Have a great one, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.